My name is Mira. I was once a happy woman. I had a small, but beautiful life. I was married to the man I loved deeply. His name was Arjun. He was not rich, but he was kind, funny, and full of love. We used to laugh a lot, talk about silly things, and dream about our future. We did not have children yet. We wanted to wait until we had more money. Arjun worked as a small shop manager. I stayed at home and took care of everything else. Life was not perfect, but it was peaceful. I was happy with him. But one rainy night, everything changed. Arjun was coming home from work on his bike. The road was wet and dark. A truck came too fast from the wrong side. It hit him. He died on the spot. When I got the call, I didn't believe it. I thought it was a mistake. I ran to the hospital with shaking hands and a crying heart, but it was true. He was gone forever. The next few weeks were full of silence. No sound, no smile, no reason to wake up. The house felt empty, cold. His clothes, his slippers, his toothbrush, all still there, but not him. I cried every night. I asked God, why? I didn't get any answer. I had no job, no income. Arjun's small savings were not enough. The rent, food, electricity, it all needed money. I tried to be strong. I told myself, you have to live. You can't give up. One day, I opened an old diary. It was from my college days. I had written about my dream to become a teacher. I loved reading and writing. I loved explaining things to others. And then I thought, maybe this is the time. Maybe I should try. So, I took my certificates, ironed my simple sari, and went to a small private school near my house. It was called Sunrise Academy. I had never been there before. My hands were shaking when I walked in. The principal, a kind woman in her 50s, looked at my papers. She asked, "Have you ever taught before?" I said, "No, but I want to try." She smiled gently. "You have a good degree. We are short of teachers. You can start tomorrow." I was shocked. Just like that. She trusted me. That night, I couldn't sleep. I was nervous. But I also felt a small light inside me, like a candle, a new hope. The next day, I entered the school as a teacher. The children looked at me with curious eyes. Some smiled, some whispered. I smiled back. I introduced myself and began to teach English. At first, I was scared. My hands trembled while writing on the board. But slowly, day by day, I started enjoying it. The children liked me. They called me Miss Mira. Their smiles gave me strength. One day, during lunch break, I met him. He was sitting under the tree in the school garden, eating a sandwich and reading a book. He looked young, maybe 25. He had messy hair and a warm smile. I sat on the bench nearby. He looked up and said, "Hi, you're the new English teacher, right?" "Yes," I said, smiling politely. "I'm Karen. I teach science." We shook hands. His hand was warm and soft, not like Arjun's, but still comforting. "Do you like it here?" he asked. "I think I do. The kids are sweet." He laughed. "Yeah, they are monsters sometimes, but good monsters." I laughed too. It felt strange to laugh again after so long, but nice. After that day, we talked often during breaks, sometimes after school, just small talks, books, movies, classes, nothing serious. But I started waiting for those talks. I liked the way he listened, the way he smiled. He never asked about my past, and I liked that too. One rainy afternoon, I was standing near the window watching the rain. It reminded me of the night Arjun died. My heart felt heavy again. I didn't know Karen was standing behind me. "You okay?" he asked gently. I turned quickly and wiped my eyes. "Yes, just the rain. It makes me sad sometimes." He didn't ask more. He just stood beside me and said, "Sometimes rain brings new things too." His words stayed in my mind all evening. I started noticing him more, his kind heart, the way he helped students, the way he smiled at the old security guard. He wasn't loud or showy. He was just good. One day, he gave me a flower, a small yellow one. He said, "No reason, just felt like giving." I smiled, but inside I was scared. I was a widow. He was young. What would people say? What if I got hurt again? But my heart was changing, day by day, beat by beat. One evening, after school, we were walking together. It was late. The road was empty. He suddenly stopped and looked at me. "Can I ask something?" I nodded. "Are you married?" The question froze me. I took a deep breath. I was. My husband died last year. He looked sad. "I'm sorry. I didn't know." "It's okay," I whispered. We walked in silence. Then he said, "You're strong, ma'am. I don't know your full story, but I can see it in your eyes. You're strong." I smiled, but my eyes were wet. He didn't say more, but something had changed. That night, I sat on my bed and looked at Arjun's photo. "Can I love again?" I whispered. I didn't know the answer yet, but my heart had started to feel again. Something warm, something soft, like spring after a long winter. Maybe this was just the beginning. Days turned into weeks, and weeks into months. My life had changed in many small ways. I still missed Arjun, especially at night when the house was quiet. His photo still sat on the shelf beside my bed. But now there was also laughter in my days, children calling Miss Mira, the soft rustle of chalk on the board, and quiet talks with Karen under the school tree. I didn't tell anyone how I felt about Karen, not even myself. It was like a secret flower growing in my heart, and I was too afraid to touch it. One evening, the school had a small event. All the teachers and students were in the hall. Children sang songs, danced, and gave short speeches. I sat with the other teachers, clapping and smiling. Karen was standing near the back, looking proud of his students. After the event, he came to me. "Walk with me?" he asked. We walked slowly under the stars. It was a cool evening. The wind was soft, and the sky clear. "I've been meaning to tell you something," he said. I felt my heart beat a little faster. "What is it?" He looked nervous, like a boy before an exam. Sometimes life gives us pain, deep pain. But sometimes it also gives us another chance, a second chance to feel happiness again. I looked at him, not saying a word. He took a deep breath. "Mira, I don't know when it happened, but I like you. I care about you. I wait to see you every day. I don't want to rush you or scare you, but I had to say it." I felt like time had stopped. I couldn't speak. I thought about Arjun. Would he be angry? Would he feel I had forgotten him? But then I remembered something Arjun once told me. It was a long time ago, when we were still newly married. We were watching a sad movie, and I had cried at the end. Arjun had smiled and said, "If something ever happens to me, you must cry, but not forever. You must smile again too. You have so much love in you. Share it. Don't lock it away." I looked at Karen and slowly smiled. "You didn't scare me," I said softly. His eyes lit up. "Really?" I nodded. "I was afraid too. But I think maybe my heart is ready now. Maybe I want to feel alive again." We stood in silence, and for the first time I didn't feel guilt. I felt peace. From that day on, things between us grew quietly. No one at school knew. But the way he looked at me, the way I smiled back, it was enough. We started meeting on weekends, sometimes at the park, sometimes for coffee. We talked about books, movies, childhood dreams. He told me about his mother, who lived far away, and how he had always felt alone in the city until he met me. One Sunday, he brought me a small diary. On the first page, he had written, "Mira, for all the pages of your life that were filled with tears, I hope I can help you write pages full of love." I cried when I read it. Happy tears. After a few months, we told the school staff. Some were surprised, some smiled, a few whispered, but we didn't care. We were honest, and we were proud. One day, Karen came to my house with his mother. She was a gentle woman with kind eyes. She held my hand and said gently, "I know about your past, Beta, and I know my son is lucky to have found you." That evening, we all sat and ate together. Laughter filled the room again. Later, I stood near Arjun's photo. I touched the frame and said, "I will always love you, but now I must live." A few months later, Karen and I got married. It was a simple ceremony. I wore a soft pink sari. He wore a white kurta. There were no drums, no big crowd, just love. The school children came with handmade cards. One card said, "To Miss Mira and Sir Karen, please always be happy like you make us happy." We both cried reading it. Now, every morning I wake up beside someone who holds my hand with warmth. I go to school with him. We teach in different rooms, but our hearts stay close. Some nights, we sit under the stars and talk about the past, the pain, the healing. And every time I look at him, I feel grateful, for life, for love, for second chances. My name is Mira. I lost love once, but I found it again. Not in the same way, but just as deep, just as true. This is my story. Sometimes the heart breaks not to end love, but to make space for a new one. Subscribe to this channel to hear more stories like this. Thank you for watching. See you with another beautiful story like this. Have a good day.